prince lives here. We got 10,000 lakes. But wait, the women are beautiful. To me they are. And we're not infested with pretentious movie stars. And it hit me, Minnesota is dope. If only simply for not what we have, but what we...
Welcome to 10 Minutes. I'm Tony Scott. Joining the studio today with me, Peter Odney, the one and only.
The one and only. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing great.
Great. Thanks for having me today.
We're going to rock it out today, aren't we?
Rock it out.
Bring
Rock
it
it
on.
out.
Start with the squirts, finish with high school. Lot of stuff in between that. And
Let's
then-
go crazy.
And then we got our favorites. Today's favorite's going to be pizza.
Stick around for the
We're gonna have some
favorite.
shockers, some booms, and some game pucks.
Yeah.
Ready? All right, here we go. Lots to talk about in squirts. We went and dug around and found the top teams in each Squirt A district.
Oof.
Okay, so district, I'll go the first four, and I'll
Take
go
it
the last
away.
four. District 2, Stillwater wins the district. They're in district championships this weekend up in Forest Lake. We're hoping to be there. District 3, Osseo Maple Grove White, currently in first place in that league. District 4, no standings on the site, but there is the highest rated on Now Rankings is Laverne. And then District 5, STMA undefeated, only one blemish, a tie on their record in District 5. What do you got for you?
D6, we got Edina Green. No surprise there.
Did
District
you have a pin from Edina Green?
got a little Edina Green bling bling.
All right, that's a little preview. We're going to be talking about them a little bit later. in the
We'll see.
show.
We'll see the Hornet again. In District 8, we've got a tie, I believe,
Yep.
between Rosemount and Park Cottage Grove. Interesting.
Yep.
D
And Rosemont hasn't lost. They're just straight up undefeated.
straight up undefeated. So the Irish are rolling in District 8. District 9, we've got Northfield, another district where the standing
No standings, really.
standings, but we went with who was tops, who was highest in the now rankings.
However, Rochester Red has defeated Northfield
Handily,
You know how I know
5-1.
that? You know how I know that? Because we saw the game. It was in Rochester
Truth.
the same day as the Founders Cup.
And then District 10, Blaine,
Yeah,
tops in
top
District
team,
10.
Real good team. I'll take it from here. Hermantown, no standings in District 11. The highest rated is Hermantown. No standings for District 12. The highest rated team, International Falls Broncos.
Whoa.
Love it. They have like 20-some scores posted.
Yikes.
Close to 500 team. Love to see a team from that far north and that close to the Canadian border. Tops in that.
It's like the 50s all over
It
again.
is. I love it. Nothing in District 15. However, they did host a little jamboree tournament in Brainerd. We were there. Northern Lakes beat Detroit Lakes. A little asterisk on this one. Moorhead's
Little one.
top team was not in the event. They were in the championship game of the Edina O'Connor tournament, which we were at. So we were at both events on Sunday. Saw a lot of squirts the last couple weeks. And then District 16, East Grand Forks, one of the top teams in the state.
No surprise there.
No surprise there. So let's talk about a couple players. You want to go first?
Yeah, I've seen Tartan a couple of times
Yes.
in the past week, and one player that stands out to me is Aiden Grossklaus.
Yep,
I hope that's how you pronounce it. He's a kid that can make plays on his own. He can win the faceoff to himself just as good on the backhand as he is on the forehand, which is something you never see at this level.
No.
So the fact that he has the backhand in addition to his forehand is pretty cool.
I saw Moorhead play. They were undefeated. They lost. They have a player on the team, Sam Lorilla,
Lorilla.
from Moorhead. A big puck rushing defenseman. Can D it up pretty well. Shoots it pretty well. Just a refreshing, fun to see him. A kid like that play. I know his mom. She works at the Moorhead Hockey Youth Association.
Yeah.
Works with us on the Big Pumpkin. It's fun to see people outside of the tournament and see their kids actually playing hockey. It was great to see, and he's a great player. One of those players that definitely needs a little shout out today.
Wow, a solid player from Moorhead. I'm so
Shocking.
surprised.
Shocking. All right, let's switch gears to Pee Wee's. Big game this weekend.
Big game.
12:45 up in Maple Grove. Osseo Maple Grove hosts number 1, hosts number 2, Stillwater. Talk about some firepower in this game.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've seen both of these teams multiple times. What are your take? We're going to do a pick 'em later. Just what are your take on both teams? What stands out about Osseo Maple Grove? What stands out about Stillwater?
You know, when you first brought this game up to me, I thought okay, I hope something interesting happens. But when you dig a little deeper, these two teams, there's always going to be something different from the last time they've played. There's obviously the Seidels for Stillwater are a couple of big guns, but they also have players like Matthew Volkman and Brody Dustin who can add some secondary scoring, which they'll need against such a deep team like Osseo Maple Grove.
So you just talked about Seidel brothers, you talked about Volkman, you talked about Dustin, but you don't talk about Ty Tucito. You don't talk about Roski.
How many weapons?
So
how many weapons do you
they
want?
have tons, but
there's a war chest over
and
there.
they beat Osseo Maple Grove in the Lumberjack final.
They did.
I still think Osseo Maple Grove. I don't have the exact numbers, but it's got to be 15 or 16 straight wins.
I believe it's
for the
15.
Leaf Birds. That's pretty impressive. They're loaded up front. You know, they have their big guns as well. You got Wyatt Olson, who stands out every time he's out there. Danny Nelson for a first year. He's not so bad.
He's aight.
They're great defense. They have great goaltending. That's one of the best. It's the best team in the state, but I think they're going to probably end up winning. I'm probably end up taking them, right? No, you picked them.
Nope, I picked them.
No offense later on in the show. So I'll take Stillwater too. Either one. They're both great teams.
Should be a great game.
Let's talk a little bit about. There's a team in PWB who's got a long winning streak. Talk about who that is.
13 straight wins for Northern Edge PWB.
And for those viewers out there
like me,
what is Northern Edge?
Had no idea.
It's a co-op between North Branch and St. Francis.
The Northern Edge of the Metro.
There you go.
Very clever Vikings / Saints.
Yes, they are. I think they wanted to be the North Stars because Saints, Stars, North Branch, but it didn't work out.
I like Northern
Good
Edge.
Good enough. All right, switching gears to Bantams. Here's a team. We gave them a little shout out last week about coming down for a little Twin Cities swing. Morris Benson. They get a win over North Metro at Bantam B, which is always a good win. And then you figure they got a tie with Minnetonka, number one team in the state. And who was the other tie with? It was somebody good. It escapes me. It'll come back to me in a minute.
It's a great question.
But they had 2 ties and a win, so shout out to Morris Benson.
No losses.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're going to be a tough team in their region, come regions in a couple weeks. Let's talk about a sneaky team.
Of sneaky teams.
Okay, here's one right here. I'm going to go sneaky first. You want to go sneaky?
I'll go sneaky first.
You go sneaky
I like
first.
Andover as my sneaky team.
Phantom Double
District
A.
10 champions.
Yes.
Andover, a team to keep an eye on come regions.
And they just beat Centennial, who we just moved up in the staff rankings to number 2. So if they're number 2 and they just beat them, Andover is knocking on the door of the top 10.
Absolutely.
Here's another team that's been in and out of the top 10. Minnetonka, 2 big wins within the last week or so. Wayzata and Eden Prairie, they defeated them. This team is competing with just about everybody in the state. So that's a team, come regions, could be really dangerous.
A couple of weapons on that team.
Oh, yeah. All right, girls. This one doesn't count as a shocker because it's not a win. But Anoka Rogers ties Andover. Anytime Andover doesn't win, we have to talk about it on this show, right?
Mildly surprising.
Yes. And then another thing I saw, Edina Green wins the prelude to the playoffs tournament over in Eden Prairie. Not a surprise that they win.
Nope.
But I'm going to make a surprise statement. I've watched every team, every level of hockey, from PWB, Squirt Bs, all the way up to girls high school A. I've seen every level. This is the most dominant team, the team that's easily the best team in the state. Yes, even better than Andover's 10-A team.
You want to go ahead and drop your mic now?
Yeah, drop the mic. This team, I just was blown away by how all 3 lines. I'm like, which one's their first line? They all look like first lines to me, and
they can all
great.
They can all execute.
Yeah, and Proctor Hermantown, the game I saw him, who was the second best team in the state, they were shelling the goalie. Goalies coming up with save after save in the first period. I'm like, it could have been a 2-2 game. It could have been 3-2, 2-2, 1-goal game, and their goaltenders they were very good. So.
No weaknesses on that.
No weaknesses. All right, let's switch gears to high school hockey. We got some more sneaky teams. We got 4 sneaky teams. You want to go first?
I got a sneaky team.
Yeah, right.
Coming out of the South Suburban Conference, Eastview, who has quietly worked their way to 20 wins this season.
It's a nice record. And
they're 20-4. Who else knew they were 20-4?
Everybody from Eastview knew they were 20-4.
Well, good for them. But outside of Eastview,
I knew that. I knew they would be a good team.
I'd be willing to bet that there's a small number of people who knew they were 20-4.
How about this, though? At the summer tournament over at Braemar, who got to the finals of that? Eastview. So no one should be surprised that they've done so well.
Maybe that summer tournament does
It predicts
matter.
a little bit, not a lot, but East won it. So, Duluth East has been number one in the state at some point.
Should have been an early hint that the Lightning would be a team to be reckoned with.
It was a hint. Here's one for you. Speaking of Duluth East, Grand Rapids. That's a sneaky team. They might be the eighth seed in Section 7AA, which means they'll play
Duluth East?
Duluth East.
Oh.
Would you want to play Grand Rapids in your first game of the playoffs if you're Duluth East?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, they don't want to. They for surely won't admit it. They don't want to play them first.
That is a section
With a hot goalie?
where the rivalries in that section are among some of the best anywhere in the country, in the world.
I agree. In the whole world, in the galaxy.
In the entire world.
I agree. All right, next one, St. Michael Albertville. Another team that's quietly amassed 20 wins. Only 5 losses. 19 wins. Sorry. But they have one more game to go. So I think they're going to
They could hit 20.
They'll hit 20 wins. This team's senior laden. They have some really good underclassmen, Adam Flamang and Luke Leyland. So they have kind of all the pieces. If you're in Section 8 and you're Brainerd, who lost to them on Tuesday night, or if you're Moorhead, you better be thinking more about St. Michael and less about Dream State, if you ask me.
Because St. Michael could ruin your dream.
Yes, they could end their dreams. I think that's true. Okay, last team. You see it up there? It's another 20 winner.
Pine
Your
City.
squad, Pine City, 20 wins. Probably
20
the
wins.
2 seed in Section 5A. Do not sleep on those guys. Talk a little bit about those guys. You've seen them play.
I have seen them play. Jonah Bergstrom, obviously a solid player. He's the program's points leader with
His little
over
brother,
200.
Dusty's pretty good, too.
Dusty's a pretty
He's
good
not
player,
Dusty.
too. This team is good in close games.
Yeah.
They know how to finish off a win.
Yeah. All right. So I'll give you that one. All right. So players to watch. We have one player to watch. Usually it's someone who doesn't get a lot of accolades and acclaim. Yours is going to be that guy. Mine is not going to be that guy. And I got a reason for mine. Go ahead, yours.
I'm going to go with Mickey Zeller from Spring Lake Park. I had the honor of broadcasting Spring Lake Park and Chaska a couple of days ago, and Mickey had
By the way, nice
two goals.
relief pitch effort there. Because
Thank you.
Our regularly scheduled broadcaster couldn't make it. And it wasn't me. I wasn't scheduled.
I never realized how smooth the broadcast can go when you've been watching these kids for 5 years,
Yes, it
as
is.
with Chaska.
Yes.
But Mickey Zeller, he played so hard all game. His line was Zach Zemlicka. He and Zemlicka are a great duo. Mickey Zeller got some nice speed, some good hands.
All right. Mine, again, I kind of gave it away here. Bobby Brink from Minnetonka, right? Yeah, everybody's heard about Bobby Brink.
Who?
But Bobby made a pass on Saturday that I don't think anybody could make. I mean, not even a pro could make. What he does, he's kind of like a fortune teller. He'll lull you to sleep. He'll stick handle the puck. Pretty soon he's got 4 Hornets buzzing all over him. Boop, slides it back door to Jack Bayless, and Jack Bayless just taps it in. And he had 3 or 4 of these really phenomenal passes, and I just felt it was worth mentioning.
Worth
today.
throwing it
What
out
a
there.
Great passer of the puck, Bobby Brink is.
A fabulous player.
Yes, he is. All right, girls high school. What do we got?
Well,
We're almost there.
For one thing, it's section finals for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I think all of our teams are still
Are in it.
there.
Technically.
Technically, all of our picks for section champions
You picked the one-
are
you
in
picked
their
the
section
single A.
finals. Yes.
You picked the single A's, you're 8 for 8 so far.
Boom.
I picked the double A's, and I'm 8 for 8 so far.
Boom.
Had you picked, we would have had Maple.
We would have had a loss in there.
Loss in there. But nobody's talking. But you,
No, nobody's talking. But
we know our girls' puck.
we do, and we're going to know it even better after this week. We're going to hit 5 section final games, roughly a third of all section final games to be played. We're going to know our girls.
We would still bag all of our plans if someone were to fly us up to see TRF
They would not play. They wouldn't play. East Grand Forks upset Thief River Falls.
Oh, no way.
East Grand Forks will be
Oh,
playing
thank you.
War Road. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a good cut.
You're welcome. I checked the schedule last night and I said, oh, uh-oh.
That's a mini shocker.
That's a mini shocker.
I would say
It's
it's
like
a
a
mini shocker. Yeah, all right. All right, let's move on to our favorites. This week's
favorites.
favorite.
Ooh.
This would be
This one's got me.
Twin Cities-based pizza place produces restaurant pizza.
Yeah.
Barstool Sports came to town and reviewed every pizza all over the Twin Cities. We're going to do ours, mini Barstool, right here, right now. You're going to go first.
I am going to go first. It is a chain.
Yeah.
It's a chain, which I hate doing, but the Punch Pizza Puttanesca with the anchovies and the capers and it is a briny, salty explosion of flavor and happiness in my mouth.
All right, well, I'm not as fancy with fancy words like yours.
Okay, Domino's.
I'm going to go Savoy. Supreme. It's not even a Supreme, it's like their house special.
Okay.
Let's call it, but it's really just a Supreme because it's got everything on it. It's got really good sausage and pepperoni and olives and onions and you name it. And they have a really, really spicy sauce. And I'm a big fan of the square. I like a square.
Like the square
versus a
slice. All
triangle.
right.
So it's got everything that I want as a pizza consumer. But the sauce is what I like the best. It's spicy. Most sauce is pretty bland, tomatoey. I like a little bit of zest.
There's a little crushed red pepper in that sauce.
I like it a lot. Okay, what is our tweet of the week?
Tweet of the week. Out to Louis St. George.
He's a writer for the Duluth News Tribune.
And frankly, he's one of the best high school sports writers in the state.
Yes.
But Louis had a tweet about the QRF.
So QRF is a computerized formula that the Section 7 secretary has adopted to use as his seeding, and he uses it for hockey. Okay, so right now Duluth East, for example, is number 1. We mentioned Grand Rapids; they're number 8. So they're going to play each other as of today in section play, right? Well, they're also using it for basketball, and he had a tweet, but I don't have the exact tweet. But the gist of it was there was a team, Duluth-Denfeld, who had a better record. Had beaten the other team that was ahead of them by 34 points.
Grand Rapids had the better record over Duluth-Denfeld. They beat Denfeld by 34, and they were still rated below Denfeld in the QRF.
Makes no sense. Let's just let them decide it on the floor, and then we won't have any.
We won't even compare it to the BCS. Oh, whoops.
No BCS. All right, speaking of Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids is a sneaky team. They make it. Their basketball team makes tweet of the week, and now they're going to make the shocker. Biggest shock. That's one of the biggest shocks of the year.
Grand Rapids pulls off a 4-1 win over Cloquet, who was coming off its own win over Duluth East. Ipso facto, Grand Rapids
Transitive property.
better than Duluth East.
Duluth East is not better than Grand Rapids. They're going to play the first round at Heritage.
Ducking East fans throwing things through the camera.
It's going to be great. Okay, we had a girls one as well.
We did have a girls one.
And it wasn't East Forks over Thief.
It wasn't. We had another one. 5-seed Hibbing Chisholm pulls off the win over Duluth Marshall in Section 7A. So it'll be Hibbing Chisholm and Proctor Hermantown in Section 7A for girls high school.
And you called it.
We've got Proctor Hermantown.
All right. We're on to our pick'ems. You set these up. Let's
go.
Did. Rapid fire. Stillwater, Osseo Maple Grove. I already gave mine away. I'm taking Stillwater. You're going to take
Osseo Maple Grove.
Squirt A. We're going to do a Squirt A pick'em. It's always fun, though. This will be a good one because Edina White and Edina Green play. They choose their teams evenly, so by the end of the year,
they're both
city brawl. It's Friday night. I'm going to be there. I'm excited to see it. I think that Edina Green is the better team on paper. They're red hot right now. However, I'm going to take Dave Spihar's squad, Edina White, Oliver Scriber in the nets.
Fair.
Maybe we get a little bit of Luke Salepis in the nets. Doesn't matter. Both goalies can play. I'm taking Edina White.
I'm taking Edina Green. I'm going to ride the hot hand.
Very hot hand. Okay. Good. Another, speaking of Civil War.
Civil War.
Lakeville North and Lakeville South play again. North won the first time. You're taking South.
I'm taking South.
Team, right?
It could be their first win over Lakeville North in a regular season game in the past 4 or 5 seasons.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Sections, though, they won last
Come on, Cougars.
All right. You taking them. Speaking of South Suburban, we're going to stick with South Suburban. Eastview, Prior Lake on Saturday.
Yep.
I'm taking the sneaky ones. Are you saying that Prior Lake's going to sneak up on a sneaky one?
Yes.
Yep.
Double sneak. We're going to use double sneak whammy. Prior Lake.
Joe Pancrantz.
Prior Lake's at home.
By the way, if Joe Pancrantz is watching now, you owe me a phone call. So, Joe, you've got to call me back, okay? Yeah, you got my number. All right, but I'm taking Eastview.
That's fair.
All right, next we're going to go to our boom roasted.
Boom. My boom roasted this week is going to go out to the fact that the White Bear Lake Horn, Zach and those guys do a great job of broadcasting White Bear Lake sports. They wanted to broadcast the Section 4 AA girls final, which will be Hill Murray versus White Bear Lake. Rivalry game, should be a great game, and apparently they are not accredited enough to broadcast the game. So if you are a White Bear or Hill Murray alum or family member who can't make the game, sorry. Get on Twitter because, the Horn can't be there because,
they're not accredited.
Gosh forbid you tape the game. Anyway.
Okay. Well, that's a good boom. Say boom roasted. Yeah.
Boom.
Roasted. All right. I don't really have one. I've kind of roasted the QRF already, so I'll just kind of skip by that and get right to the game pucks. Here you go. My game puck goes out to all the people in Alberta and Saskatchewan. I was there this past week. You're doing a story on bantam hockey and prep schools and what the effect the prep schools had on bantam hockey in Western Canada and how it ties back to Minnesota. It's very, very similar. A lot of the same.
Yep.
We may be in a different country, but the language is almost identical. So a huge shout out to people from Edge School and North Alberta Extreme. I got a chance to meet those guys. Some people from Saskatchewan that I got to get in touch with, Cody Smith and Scott McQueen, and my buddy Kerwin Bozer. He took me to a bantam playoff game on Tuesday night.
Very cool.
It was exciting. So I got to see great bantam hockey. It was like basically watching a bantam AA game. So,
the hearty people of Saskatchewan.
Yes, it was. So huge shout out to all the folks in Western Canada who welcomed YHH into their rinks and their coffee shops. It was fun to meet all these people.
My game puck is going to go to a favorite son of Minnesota hockey, Jack Jablonski, who has feeling in his big right toe and progress. And he's always had the best attitude, and he's ready to take the next step on his journey to recovery.
Huge start to that. Huge shout out to MAP Hockey in Minnesota Heights. Thank you for their sponsorship of today's show. Thank you to Peter for his participation in writing the show this week. We'll be around the rinks a lot this weekend. We'll see you guys there, whether it's the girls' high school, squirts, Pee-wees, bantams.
Don't be afraid to say hi.
We'll be covering it. For Peter Rodney, I'm Tony Scott. We'll see you around the rink.
And if you ain't gonna leave, cause this is where you're from,